If you squint really hard, you might believe this is adept style. Hey there hunters, and welcome back to the Gunners Guild. Today I want to talk about and sort of showcase the new skill Redirection, what it does, how useful it is, stuff like that. So let's just not waste more time and let's just get into this. Redirection is a new skill in Sunbreak which you can craft at the forge. Luckily it's not stuck to just charms and armor like Chain Crate and Coalescence are. It is a level 3 slot skill, but the in-game files say that there is a level 4 decoration that does both ranks of the skill, so maybe in the future update we'll get that. Currently though, not available. So what this skill does is very different in its two ranks. Rank 1 allows you to perform your switch skill swap action and reduce incoming damage during that window. I say window, but it's more like a crack. The timing on it is incredibly tight. It's like iframing with neutral dodge tight. I think it's like 0.2 seconds or 10 frames, maybe even less. But on like a 60 FPS game, it's really tight. But when you successfully pull it off, essentially you're going to be hyper armoring through the whole switch skill swap and take very little bit of damage. But as a gunner, it's still a lot. The downsides are quite high though. First is that the switch skill swap animation itself is quite long, and so recovery by being neutral or by evading is still taking a very large amount of time away. Second is that you hyper armor, not ignore it, so you're still going to get damage and you can still get stunned if you do this repeatedly. Thirdly is that if you miss the timing, well, you're just sitting there eating free hits, and hits you'd probably be able to avoid if you just dodged the attack normally, without trying to swap into it. And the damage reduction for the swap doesn't last for the entire swap animation. It's like from the start up until right before that blue shine hits, so it's very, very tiny. So essentially level 1 works like a shoulder check from greatsword or heavy bowgun, except the window is much tighter and doesn't last anywhere near as long. I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest, but let's move on to level 2. At level 2, which is max, Redirection works very differently. Now when you swap and get hit in that window, you take no damage, meaning no stuns either, and you automatically evade backwards. Only backwards, you cannot change the direction. You can turn your character direction right before you get hit to fling yourself in the direction you want to go, to reposition easier if you're skilled enough. But this is where the skill looks more like a depth evade. But of course it's not without its downsides. Again, the window is super tight and it's kind of hard to explain how precise you need to be with it, but just saying like 10 frames in a 60 FPS game isn't doing much. If you play it though, you'll know. Evade window also does not help this at all. It's not an evade action. I already tried. Anyway, if you don't evade properly, not only are you potentially eating a full hit if it connected, but even if it didn't connected, you're also wasting a lot of time just sitting there like a fool for using the switch skill swap and the monster missed. On top of all that, even if you do manage to get the evade, you immediately evade backwards, and this does not stop the rest of the attack from killing you. Yeah, I know. So if a monster charges you and you evade it and fly backwards, the direction the monster was going, the second those iframes on the evasion end, you're getting hit by that same charge. It's not like a guard point or something where you can block the hit and then you're completely fine for the rest of it. This also applies to attacks that have lingering hitboxes or extra explosions. You can still get hit by those even if you avoid the first part. So performing this action in corners or near walls or against certain attacks is going to get you killed even if you manage to do it properly. Now of course, skill issue, I get it, but that's where this whole skill kind of loses me. Maybe I'm just bad. With Redirection, and I'm using it with heavy bowgun, I now have 4, count them, 4 evade buttons. I have dodge, shoulder check, wire bug stuff, and scroll swap. That's a lot of different evade skills to manage, and I have to think in a split second which one to use and what's the best situation for each one. It's getting a little rough for me. Maybe it's boomer brain, I don't know, but I don't think the skill's good enough to justify all the negatives it has. And I want to love this skill. It's like the only way for heavy bowgun to manage on some fights. You need it. Because shoulder check's eventually going to get you killed, your roll is too slow for monsters in master rank, and the counters are a death trap as well. So I want this skill to work out. It just feels so clunky and bad to use that I feel like I might as well just shoulder check and run like leech setups the entire time. I'm going to keep playing with Redirect and keep it on my heavy bowgun sets, but I just wish it had a better window, or completely ignore the rest of the attack like guard points and such do. That or let it work on evade, that would be sick. So Seregios' skills, I know I'm going off topic here, Seregios' skills work on perfect dodges for evade, so the game clearly knows if you dodge with a roll properly, and then flinged you backwards, that would be amazing, and I would use that all the time for heavy bowgun. But anyway, getting off topic, this is redirect. That's all for me though. I just wanted to talk about the whole skill, how to use it, and I love it. Maybe I suck with it. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just very, very difficult to use. When you see people using it, it looks easy. Trust me, it is not. But that's all for me. Thank you all for watching, and good luck out there, hunters.